Wow, that's a deep question. It's funny, it's actually like in Spanish, but the word is like inútil, and basically what that means is like good for nothing. And yeah, it's just a mean thing to tell somebody, because everybody's good at something, and yeah, I don't believe that anymore. But yeah, it was my mom, man, and she hurt my feelings saying that shit, but I don't know how deep you want this to be. She's different now, and she like apologized for that, but yeah, like she said that to me once or twice or many times growing up, and I remember just hearing that word, and it would always just like hurt me in my soul. And yeah, words definitely have power. Definitely, I believe so. Love my mom though. Look. Still love my mom, even though she said some mean shit to me. You gotta forgive when you can.
The most hurtful thing that I've been told was that I wasn't worth anything by one of my parents. But being told that you're not worth anything by one of your parents, I think that messes you up mentally, and it sticks with you.
Yeah.
So.
The most hurtful thing I've been told, I was a 9-year-old and I loved to play guitar and sing, and it was like my favorite thing. I was like super passionate about it. It was amazing. And I would listen to all my dad's music, and usually it was Cat Stevens, and so I would just play the guitar, and then I started singing like Moon Shadow, Moon Shadow. And there was a woman, I heard her walking up the stairs to, I don't know, she was selling something, or a church, you know, like one of those. And she stopped and she was listening. I could see her shadow. And so then she rang the doorbell. My dad came. He opened the door and she's like, "Who has such a beautiful voice? My goodness. It's so beautiful. She's amazing." And he's like, yeah, well, how can I help you? What do you want? Blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I was awestruck because it was the first time that somebody had actually acknowledged, I'm sorry,
okay.
acknowledged my voice and my singing. And, sorry, it's been so long and I'm still carrying the hurt and pain, but when my dad came back in, I said, "Wow, that was so cool." Like, she actually acknowledged and said how beautiful my voice sounded. He's like, "No, your voice sounds absolutely horrific. You should never sing." And so I've never stopped since then. I can't even barely talk right now because it stifled my voice. So that's the most hurtful thing.
So that was the last time you sang?
Like that. Yeah. I do other stuff, but singing is hard. And I loved it. I thought I was going to become like a professional singer. And I'm still stuck at that moment, and I don't know how to like unstick from that.
The most hurtful thing I've ever been told was by a colleague who told me right before I started a new job, their advice to me was, "Don't be yourself." And that, I think they were meaning to be honest in terms of like, you know, don't be too bubbly, you want to be professional, but it kind of crushed my soul just a little bit, honestly.
I don't know. My mom used to tell me all the time that I end up like my dad and not really amount to anything all the time. I don't think my dad's that bad, and it hurt me to think that someone thinks like that my dad is less than what he is, and then thinking that I would amount to less than what I am, you know? But oh well.
Do you still carry that hurt with you?
No. Pretty much just left everything behind. I mean, I'm here in San Diego, away from my hometown. Left everything behind. I don't even talk to most people anymore, so I'm over life, starting a new one.
I had my ex-stepmother. I'm a really talkative person, I have been my whole life, and my ex-stepmother once told me that I should only say every third thing that came to my mind, and that I should keep the rest to myself because she didn't want to hear me talk. And it was something that I think kept me from sharing a lot of ideas and feelings that I've had in my life, and in a lot of ways like kept me to myself because I was thinking of only speaking every third thing out loud.
I wouldn't say it's necessarily the most hurtful thing I've been told, but more so the most painful things that I wasn't told in childhood. You know, just like, honestly, like, I love you from my parents, as dark as that is.
Do you have siblings?
Yeah, older brother.
Does he feel the same?
Yeah, I mean, I still remember, like, last year when I hugged him for, like, the first time in, like, so many years, just because we never, like, hugged as a family. He, like, looked at his shoes sheepishly, and he's like, wow, I can't remember the last time that we hugged. And, yeah, I don't know, love just was never, like, a thing that was, like, shown or used in the family. So definitely, it's more so the things that hurt the most was the absence of words and acts and whatnot, not so much hurtful things directly being said.
My teacher in 5th grade told me that I looked like an ad for a depression commercial. Just out of nowhere, we were in class and he had me stand up in front of the whole class and was like, this is what you look like, Sarah, and started imitating me because I have RBF, so if I'm not smiling, I look angry, I guess. And he started imitating me and the whole class was laughing, and then he just kept going for about 15 minutes until I was just left standing there crying in front of everybody. It only ended because then it was time for lunch.
Do you still carry that hurt with you?
Yeah. I feel a lot of the time where if I'm not smiling or acting a certain way, then people won't want to be around me.
I've been told that I shouldn't be in a relationship just because I have issues, like with myself. But I go to therapy and I work on myself anyway. But I couldn't I couldn't differentiate whether I needed more therapy or if I had to stop going to therapy, because it was like confirming that I was broken and that I didn't deserve anything.
That I was fat, ugly, and didn't want to be married to me. No, actually it took me longer to break up with him. 20 years and 6 kids, it's a little more than you could just walk away from something like that. I would say it's more still a damaging piece in the back of my mind. Yeah. I don't think anybody really ever gets over that.
Most hurtful thing is no one's gonna want to be your friend if you keep acting like that.
No one will ever love you if you are overweight.
If Tao loses weight, she would look so pretty.
I don't want to be with you anymore.
Oh, by the way, the 2 girls that you witnessed the birth, they're not yours.
I love you, but I don't like you.
How did you get past it?
A lot of drugs and then recovery.
When I was a kid, I heard my mom talking about me and my artwork, and she said she'll never be an artist. And I was like in kindergarten or 1st grade or something, and I still remember that, obviously. So yeah, and you know what? I'm not an artist. She was probably right, but still was hurtful. I was surprised that she said that because she was an artist.
Do you carry that pain with you at all still today?
Only if somebody's talking about art or drawing, not specifically art, but just being artistic. I always say I'm not artistic at all. It's probably because my mom said that.
You never know. You might have been really...
I could be artistic, but you know what? I do carry it, I guess. She said I wasn't, so I still believe that I'm not.
So in his defense, it was probably an accident, but in high school, my guidance counselor was talking to me about why a lot of my friends were in AP classes. And I was really curious why I was the only one in my friends group of people of similar coursework who didn't get these necessary additional steps in the right direction towards college. And when I went to his office and asked him about it, he just looked at me and said, "Oh, you want to go to college?" And it was like this moment of like, well, why wouldn't I? And it was like this real like, oh, is it? I wonder if it's me, just like from what he sees. And well, I'm working on my master's now in computer science, so I definitely wanted to go to college, but he definitely immediately pulled out all the paperwork and stuff and was really quick to talk about it. But in that moment, it's just like the weight of like, oh, I have to like say, hi, yes, I want to be involved in academia was like weird because it was just like something all my other friends were just like recommended to. So that was, it wasn't supposed to be hurtful, but man, still to this day, does it like, I remember that conversation.
When I was in 3rd grade, my substitute teacher asked me whether or not I was in 3rd grade because I have dyslexia and I couldn't read one of the questions, and I asked her what it said.
And do you still carry that hurt with you? Does it still bother you?
Kinda, and it's just a little hard when you know. I still have I'm dyslexic and I can't. It's hard for me to read, but I'm better at reading now.
I love you.
Can you tell us why?
No, I'm not going to tell you that.
Okay.
But it really spoiled that for me. When I hear I love you, I don't know whether I really believe it now. It really f***ed me up.
The most hurtful thing was when I was a little girl, growing up in Connecticut, the neighborhood kids told me to go back to my country.
How'd that make you feel?
Confused, really. Yeah. Yeah, mostly just confused, like why would they say that to me? I didn't understand like the distance that they put me at. I didn't feel it, so.
Do you still carry that hurt with you, do you think?
Not really, not so much anymore. I've traveled so much, and the funny thing was when I went back to my original country, I didn't fit in there either. I was American, so I always felt like in between worlds, kind of. But as an adult, I've taken the best of all these worlds and kind of integrated them into who I am.
Well, the most hurtful thing I've been told, it's been a few, but the one that stuck with me and it still sticks with me is when I was 2, I was burned on the iron. The whole hand came off as a kid. So growing up as a kid and people see my hand, they either say oh, you have poop on your hand, or oh, it's something wrong with you, you're an alien. And even it's 38 now? 38 years old, it still bothers me. I handicap it, I don't ever let people see it, and then I can show the camera. My hand. So it still bothers me to this day. So I always talk like this. This hand's balled up. I talk like this so nobody never sees it, because as soon as they do, it's like, it's something that's disgusting or it's poop. And that's probably one of the hurtfulest things I've ever been told, because it still just sticks with me at 38 years old in my life.
What do you think can help you not be so hurt?
To open up to it more and tell my story, because it's a story to tell. It's history behind it, you know? So now sometimes with friends, as close friends, I'm able to actually deal with it a little bit more, because I try to use it as a positive thing and say, and I turn it like this and like, see, but if I turn it like this, it looks like it's a finger pointing this way. And it does, if you look at it.
It does.
So I try to do that. So that's what I'm working on now. And I'm still working on that at 38 years old in my life. So.
Well, thank you for sharing.
You're so welcome.
Hopefully expressing it today maybe helps ease the pain a little bit.
It definitely would.
Okay.
Hey everyone, for those of you who are new, my name is Thoraya and I'm the girl behind the camera. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I have a new episode up. And follow me on Instagram, I'll be posting more on there. As always, thank you guys for everything. I love you all and I'll see you next time.